Assalamualaikum to my honorable lecturers. My name is Nur Ain Binti Zulkifli from 6A2. My supervisor is Dr. Nurul Fazlina Idayah binti Rasul. Today, I would like to present from my 5-year project, which is Isolation and Purification of Heterostemma piperifolium. Heterostemma is a species from the family Apocynaceae. The genus comprises 30 to 40 species which are found in Australia, Bangladesh, China, India, Indonesia, Laos, also Malaysia, Myanmar, Nepal, New Guinea, Philippines, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Vietnam, and Western Pacific Island. In the previous studies, 13 species of Heterostemma piperifolium were found in Malaysia, which is 4 species were found in Wang Kelian and 9 species were found in Wang Mo. In Malaysia, Heterostemma piperifolium has been recorded found in the limestone area in Selangor, Perak, and Kedah. The leaf of the Heterostemma species are easily spotted. Twigs slightly flattened, leaf blades about 7.5 to 16 times 4 to 13 cm. Twigs and petals produce a clear or milky acidic shape, and its flower is less prominent. They are small, usually less than 1 cm across, with 5 wide open bright yellow petals. These flowers are produced in a bunch of 6 to 7 of leaf axils along the stem. The slender stem readily coils on any available support to reach the higher ground for more sunlight. The seeds are many. Each seed about 13 to 15 times 0. In the previous study, the isolated compound in the area part of Heterostemma brownie were tested on compound A and compound heteromine A and heteromine B. Hence, it found out that heteromine A and heteromine B are promising toward cancer cell line. It shows cytotoxicity in 5 cancer lines, which is esophageal carcinoma, hepatoma, lymphoma, and leukemia HL60 and leukemia K562, which with IC50 ranging from 6.88 times 10 to the power of 6 to 6.29 times 10 to the power of 5 m. Apart from that, Heterostemma itself has been used by Chinese folk in traditional uses. Its roots or whole plant were used as a Chinese folk medicine for expelling dampness and detoxifying. Usually, the area or the whole part of the first herb will be dried and then boiled to produce the medicine. In previous study, it was confirmed that there is an alkaloid, which is pyranidine and pyrimidines contained in mostly Heterostemma species such as Heterostemma brownies and Heterostemma alatum. In the area part of Heterostemma brownie contain heteromine A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. The area part of Heterostemma alatum contain heteromine I, J, and heteromine K. There is no reported journal on Heterostemma piperifolium species, even though this species is a common herb plant. Unlike the other Heterostemma species, Heterostemma piperifolium has no significant traditional uses found. However, the previous researcher who studies chemical on Heterostemma piperifolium is promising to the stimulant activities. Hence, further study on this species will be conducted to know the potential new candidate that might be used in the field of studies. Heterostemma can be found in limestone area. The further study of this research is to know the variety chemical constituent of Heterostemma piperifolium. The traditional uses of Heterostemma are the treatment of malaria, pain relief, anesthetic. The previous researcher found that some species have been used by native folks and tribes in Asia as medicine, for example, quinine, morphine, and cocaine. Previously, the study of Heterostemma piperifolium reported mostly contain class compound alkaloid, which is pyranidine and pyrimidine. However, there is no published reports on Heterostemma piperifolium, either chemically or biologically. So, to further this research study, the objective of the study are to develop phytochemical profile of leaf or the whole plant of the Heterostemma piperifolium using ultra high performance liquid chromatography. Number 2 is to isolate and purify the chemical constituent of leaf of Heterostemma piperifolium using advanced chromatographic techniques such as MPLC, preparative HPLC and recycling HPLC. The third one is to determine the structure of the isolated compound using modern spectroscopy such as 1N NMR, 2D NMR, LCMS, IR, and UV. For the methodology, this is we go through first sample collection. The whole part of the plant will be used. Next one is dry plant material. The plant will be dry at a specific temperature at 40 Celsius. Next is extraction. The crude extract will be produced using rotary evaporator. To fulfill the objective 1, HPLC profiling will be used for the next procedure. Chemical profile pattern of plant will be determined in this process. Next is fractionation. MPLC will be used upon this fractionation. The next one is isolation and purification, which is the most important procedure in this research. Preparative and recycling HPLC will be used in this procedure. The next one is to fulfill the objective for number 3. Structure elucidation will be used to isolate compound. We'll go through the spectroscopy technique such as NMR, LCMS, and FTIR. For the structure elucidation, NMR, FTIR, and also LCMS was used to produce the structure. First, as for the result in NMR proton, 12 peaks was found. All peak was singlet. As you can see in this result, all graphs represent one peak and all are singlet. The next one is for the carbon peak. The carbon peak that produced in this NMR, which is 8. For the LCMS result, the peak that will use for the mass spectroscopy is at 1.03 and the mass is at 194.104, and we try to compare the accurate mass of the compound in the literature review with the result of LCMS. For the FTIR result, there are 10 selected peaks that we compare with the wave number range. As you can see in the table, this is the list of the functional group that we are suspected. As for the conclusion, objective number 2 was achieved as the total proton and carbon-13 was successfully determined using NMR spectroscopy, LCMS, and also FTIR spectroscopy. Hence, the suspected compound in this research study was C8H12N50 based on the comparison with the previous published article in the Dictionary of Natural Products. For the recommendation, this result for the suspected compound would be more pure or the result will be more good if the sample go through more isolation and purification. Because the lack of time, we can repeat to run for the instrument. That's all for me. Thank you.